Understanding the difference between statutory and common law trusts could save you significant legal headaches and money. If you're considering setting up a trust for business, investment, or estate planning, knowing which type fits your needs is crucial. A statutory trust is a legal entity created under specific state statutes, while a common law trust is formed based on judicial precedents and case law. This fundamental difference affects everything from liability protection to tax benefits. Statutory trusts have gained popularity for several compelling reasons. They operate under regularly updated governing laws that provide consistency and predictability. As separate legal entities, these trusts continue to exist even after the death or incapacitation of a trust holder. They offer bankruptcy protections not available in common law trusts and have clearly regulated internal affairs. Many businesses choose statutory trusts because they're relatively simple and inexpensive to form, typically requiring just a short application and trust agreement. The legal recognition and liability protection are particularly valuable. Beneficiaries and trustees aren't personally liable for trust debts. In the investment world, statutory trusts shine. They're frequently used for real estate syndication, allowing multiple investors to pool resources for large property purchases. They provide excellent asset protection, shielding personal assets from lawsuits and creditors. Investment funds and REITs often use statutory structures for compliance and tax efficiency. Delaware Statutory Trusts, or DSTs, represent one of the most popular examples. They're widely used in 1,031 exchanges, allowing investors to defer capital gains taxes when selling property. Common law trusts, on the other hand, operate under state-specific regulations. They're typically used when statutory trusts don't align with state regulations or specific tax concerns. Sometimes called pass-through trust agreements, they're regulated by each state's legal jurisdiction. Setting up a common law trust involves several steps: requesting an ID through World Service Authority, choosing a trustworthy co-trustee, purchasing a post office box for anonymity, creating necessary business documents, selecting a settlor or grantor, requesting an EIN number, opening a trust bank account, and optionally registering with the Secretary of State. Despite their flexibility, common law trusts have significant limitations. They lack separate entity status, making beneficiaries and trustees more vulnerable to lawsuits. The state-specific regulations create legal uncertainty and inconsistent enforcement. Investors generally find them less appealing due to weaker asset protection and governance structures. They also offer fewer bankruptcy protections compared to statutory trusts. The differences between these trust types extend to their very nature. Common law trusts are created without public officials, and trust individuals must sue or be sued in their own names. Statutory trusts, considered juridical categories, are separate from the trust parties, allowing legal action in the trust's name. Statutory trusts follow specific regulations. Listed rules are binding and cannot be overruled in business documents. They cannot have a donative purpose. They require comprehensive trust documentation in the Articles of Incorporation, must include charging order provisions, and must specify dissolution and conversion requirements. When comparing these trust types side by side, several key differences emerge. Common law trusts are governed by judicial precedents, while statutory trusts are created under specific state statutes. Common law trusts have no separate legal identity, while statutory trusts are considered distinct legal entities. Trustees and beneficiaries may be personally liable in common law trusts, whereas statutory trusts offer limited liability protection. Governance in common law trusts is flexible, but can lead to legal uncertainties. Statutory trusts have structured governance with clear guidelines. For business and investment purposes, statutory trusts are preferred, especially for real estate, REITs, and asset protection. Tax treatment varies by state for common law trusts. while statutory trusts may qualify for pass-through taxation and other benefits. Before deciding which trust structure best suits your needs, consult with an experienced attorney who can evaluate your specific situation and provide tailored guidance. The right choice depends on your goals, the assets involved, and the legal framework of your state.